coverage for you on the coronavirus concerns. Several local schools are taking precautions this week after the Rhode Island Department of Health announced the state's first 2 presumptive coronavirus cases. The second announced late last night. It is a female patient, a teenager, who is at home with mild symptoms. Earlier yesterday, the state announced a man in his 40s was the state's first presumptive case. He was still in the hospital as of last check. Also, a woman in her 30s is being tested. All 3 of them were on the same trip to Europe last month. And we'll check in on the schools that are impacted in a moment. But first, Alexander Leslie is in the Breaking News Center with more on what we know from health officials.
So we're told that trip to Europe included travel to Italy, where an outbreak is present. The 3 of those patients, they were part of a group of 38. The Rhode Island Department of Health telling us that it is working vigilantly to prevent the further spread of this coronavirus. Now, the first patient, a man in his 40s, had limited travel in Rhode Island upon his return. He did not return to work, and when he developed symptoms, we're told he went to the hospital where he was tested for the virus, and he is still being treated there. His family members are under self-quarantine now for 14 days. Yesterday, we were told they had not developed any symptoms. After yesterday's news conference, we learned 2 more people that are from that trip are also presumed to have the virus. A teen tested presumptive positive, and she is at home with what we're told are mild symptoms, and a woman in her 30s also at home with mild symptoms, but again, her results are still pending. So now the additional travelers who went on this trip are being directed to self-quarantine for 14 days.
Our team at the Rhode Island Department of Health will be working very closely with each of those individuals, making sure that they have the support they need as they are being asked to monitor themselves for any symptoms during this 14-day time period. We will have public health nurses checking in with them several times a day.
Now, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is in charge of tracking down passengers that were on the same return flight home from Europe. But for how schools are impacted in handling all of this, we go now live to my colleague, Brandon Truitt. Brandon.
Alex, good morning. Schools from Pawtucket to Westerly have come forward in response to these presumptive cases. Some of the districts, like here in East Providence, are announcing that they'll be sanitizing school buses, classroom, common spaces. Other districts are closing altogether. Now, St. Ray's had originally announced the closure for a couple of days after the announcement of that first case, but when word came of a second, they decided to close for the rest of the week. Students will be taking online courses. The school is asking them, students and staff, to avoid gathering in large groups. In the meantime, those who are on that trip to Europe are being self-quarantined and monitored with Department of Health supervision. Now, Achievement First Mayoral Academy in Providence and Illuminar Mayoral Academy in Cranston both closed today and tomorrow. The third case being monitored by the Department of Health, said to be a staff member there. Now, other districts not directly affected are also stepping up their preventative measures. Westerly Public Schools say they are sanitizing their facilities. East Providence schools are doing the same. The department releasing this statement last night saying the city of East Providence, together with the East Providence School Department, have taken action to educate school administrators, families, and the community at large of the precautionary steps. In Bellingham, Massachusetts, just over the Rhode Island border, students and staff who have recently traveled overseas are asked to stay home this week. Just like in Westerly and here in East Providence, the school department there saying that it's out of abundance of caution as they continue to monitor for any potential symptoms. We're live in East Providence. Brandon Truitt, Eyewitness News.
And we're learning about some coronavirus cases in other parts of the country. At last check, 89 reported nationwide. In Washington state, officials announced a second person has died from the virus. The governor there declaring a state of emergency if the first U.S. death was confirmed Saturday. And new overnight, Florida announcing its first 2 cases of coronavirus. New York announcing its first, and Massachusetts has 1 documented case so far, and that was a UMass Boston student who had traveled to Wuhan, China, which is at the center of the outbreak. Worldwide, about 88,000 people in 64 countries have contracted the virus, with more than 3,000 reported deaths, including an advisor to Iran's supreme leader. And we'll have more in-depth coverage for you right now. You'll find it at WPRI.com.